Big thanks to Cardmarket for sponsoring today's video. Alright, hello everyone and welcome to a brand new video. In today's video, we are going to be discussing the ban list that's coming up this weekend. Not sure if that was confirmed or not, but it's like pretty much guaranteed to be coming this weekend. They will announce it after there's some big tournament in the East. And there's been a lot of discussion about what's going to be banned and how they're going to be banning things and what decks need to be hit and not. And I just figured I'd weigh in my opinion, and maybe you can get a better sense of what you should be playing and what you should be trying to stay away from, because they might get hit by the ban. And just giving you my opinion out there for those of you that are interested. So we're gonna make a little bit of a tier list and rank the cards that I think gotta go and what I think will actually go. So let's jump straight into the actual tier list. So this is it. First, to go over the tiers, we have tier number 1, likely ban. These are cards I'm like, okay, this is most likely gonna get banned. This is a problem. They gotta go. And then I have my hopeful ban category. This is kind of what I'm hoping to be banned, even though I'm kind of like, I don't think they will actually ban it. I'm just really like, I wish they would ban them. And then we have limit, which is just cards I think are fine, but I think should be limited to a 1 or 2 copies because they are way too strong at 4. And then we have the safe category, cards I just don't think are gonna be banned. So those are the 4 different categories. Let's jump into the actual contenders. We have 9 cost Big Mom, we have 7 cost Holy Jones, we have Gum Gum Giant, the leader Blue Purple Luffy, the restand event from Green Sorro in OP12, 4 cost Ivankov, 4 cost Karasu, Sanji and Pudding, Cavendish, 4 cost Pudding, as well as the OP12 Tashigi. Yeah, these are cards that I deem to be a problem, or that I've heard other people call a problem, right? Let's just do them from left to right. That way we can, keep a check on what the fuck we're doing and why we're doing it. Starting with 9 Mom. I think 9 Mom is probably going to go in hopeful. The thing is, I don't necessarily hope that it's going to be banned, but I also don't think it's likely to be banned. I think this is not an unbalanced card. I think what makes this card unbalanced is the stacking that Blue Purple Luffy can do for free with his leader effect, and that inherently gives 9 Mom a lot of power, right? Because you're getting rid of a body while you're also healing one, and it's like, yes, you are also healing your opponent, but that is very rarely going to be relevant for a deck like Blue Purple Luffy, right? And the card in itself is not a problem. Whereas Blue Purple makes it a problem. And I think if they were to not hit the Blue Purple leader, this is a good place to hit, because it would severely impact their gameplays, right? So I think this is likely to be banned, just because it is kind of a free shot, right? If you don't want to ban the leader, this would hurt the leader a lot. Then looking at Hody Jones. Hody Jones is one of those cards that are like deathly. Like, it's a lethal fucking card, and a lot of decks just use this as a finisher, right? And then you can just rest anything, right? Whether it be blockers or even Dawn, to push for lethal in a very aggressive way. However, Hody Jones will not get banned. It's pretty simple. In OP0, no, not OP0, OP12, they revealed this new card, which is a Sorro event, which is literally just Hody, but an event. It costs 4 in total, and you can rest 2 things, whether it be blockers or Dawn. And the only difference, of course, is that it's not on a body, and you don't have to take your own life. So you lose the fact that it's on a body, but it costs 3 less. So you can just slap 3 Dawn on something else, and then boom, you kind of make up for that lost swing, right? And I don't think necessarily Hody is, much better than that card, if better at all. They both have their pros and cons. And I think it would be really weird to just ban Hody right before a set releases that has basically the exact same card that Hody has. So unless they're planning to ban both of those cards, then I seriously doubt that Hody will get banned. So in my opinion, Hody is like 100% safe in this ban list here. I don't think Hody is a problem. However, what I do think is a problem is Gum Gum Giant. I mean, I'm sure all of you have had the problem with Gum Gum Giant, but I personally lost like a literal box over this card last week, where I was 4-0 in a box tournament going into the finals. I had an incredibly dominating lead against a purple Luffy, where they had like 2 life, like 5 cards in hand, and I had an entire full board of good bodies, including a Karasu, and I push for game, and this motherfucker just has triple giant and is able to live. And it's like this, like the dumbest thing ever. The fucking commentators who were streaming the event were going fucking crazy. They're like, "This shit's so dumb," and I was, agreeing with them. This shit's so dumb. I fucking almost flipped my table. I had a full-on crash out. This card is so dumb broken, bro. People keep saying like, "Yeah, sure, limited to 1." But why? It's an unbalanced card. Just fucking ban that shit. It's dumb. It's such a stupid card. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop ranting now. This card sucks. I hate it. Ban that shit. I think also it's very likely to be banned. Like, it's not going in here because I want it banned. It's going in here because it is probably gonna get banned. It's like the #1 card on everybody's hit list. This card's gotta go. A lot of people are talking about limiting it to 1. I don't fucking give a fuck. Ban that shit. Blue Purple Luffy leader is not necessarily an inherent problem, as he does die to Bellow Betty. And it would suck so bad to lose a leader that would just loses to Bellow Betty, right? Because it means less chance for Bellow Betty to be in the spotlight. We've seen the absolute tremendous power of Bellow Betty in this meta. Bellow Betty's like winning like 9 out of 10 regionals. It's actually insane. It's all thanks to Blue Purple Luffy sticking around. However, the leader in a shell is incredibly overpowered. But we are going into a set in OP12 where Green Sorro is also around, which is also an incredibly powerful deck. And right after that, we're going into OP13, where all of the decks will have an immense power creep because of the anniversary set, right? Where Blue Purple Luffy, of course, will still be relevant, but the other decks are now able to compete with Blue Purple Luffy in a way that other decks have not been able to before. So, in my mind, Luffy is safe as a leader. I think if we hit Giant or Big Mom or even both, then he's going to become a much more balanced leader for the duration of the OP12. And then come OP13, maybe they'll unban 9 Mom or something, and he can keep up a little bit with those OP13 decks without being so dominant as he is today. Moving on to one of the OP12 cards here, we got Restand Event for Sorro. This is kind of a weird situation to be in, right? Where Japan has been in OP12 for a longer period of time, right? Whereas we are just now getting into it like a week after the ban list. And they very rarely ban cards before release, right? However, this is not a chase card. This is not a super rare. This is not a secret rare. This is nothing like that. It doesn't have an altar, no nothing. It's just a typical rare card. And I think, in a sense, that does mean that it can be banned. It is subject to ban. I think this card is a problem, which is hilarious because we've had access to this in like Uta before. Uta has this exact card printed, and Uta is not a problem, right? But I think the problem comes when you have a leader that literally says, "Hey, if you block me, I'm just gonna restand," and it allows you to be such a powerful finisher just on your leader, which means your opponent can't really do anything about it. And this card just gains so much value, just 3 Dawn. And like, if you establish something like a Kuina, like a turn before, you can actually be such a fucking menace when it comes to aggro plays, right? I think Sorro needs to be hit somewhat, and I am hopeful that it is this card. Mostly, like, I don't know if it's necessarily likely to be banned. I think it should be banned, though. because it is giving way too much value to something like Sorro, and I don't think it would inherently, ruin the deck to lose this card. I think it would just, prevent him from being as aggressive as he is currently being, and make him play a little bit of a longer game, which would slightly hurt him, but not take him out of the loop completely. This is what I hope to be banned. I don't think it's very likely. A man can dream. Then we're going on to forecast Ivankov. Of course, as a Bello Betty main, when I heard somebody wanting to shoot Ivankov on a ban list, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Ivankov is the only thing keeping Bello Betty around, and Bello Betty is not even around in OP12. Like, Bello Betty loses so much value just because Sorro is around. And realistically, the only reason Bello Betty is as good as it is because of the current meta. Which she would not do anything right now if the case was that she is too powerful, right? She had Ivankov for 2 years. Ivankov was never a problem. Heck, we haven't gotten support since OP9, and it hasn't been a problem in OP9, OP10. It's only OP11 because of the meta, right? And the meta changes with OP12 and OP13. I think she might have a comeback, but that is not here or there, right? They're not going to ban a card in preparation for OP13 Bello Betty being strong. This is safe. This is safe. This is just not getting hit. There's actually no way. And I would like to use the same arguments for Karasu, right? Why would they ban a card that is going to be, like, from a deck that's going to be gone in a week? If they wanted to do anything about Bello Betty, they should have done an emergency ban earlier. But I don't think they would do anything about Bello Betty because Bello Betty is really just around because of Blue Purple Luffy, and it's the only deck kind of keeping Blue Purple Luffy in check. So same arguments for Karasu there. The only other argument I would have against Karasu is that Karasu actually goes pretty good into the new Sabo deck in OP13. And maybe like ban it as a precaution to not let OP13 Sabo be too powerful. But that just makes no sense, especially with how strong the other leaders are from OP13. It doesn't make sense to hit this, which is just basically a finisher in that deck. It makes no sense. Just leave Karasu be, leave Ivankov be. They're not a problem. They are just here. They're not getting touched. Sanji and Pudding is an interesting one that I saw other people talk about. I don't know how I feel about Sanji and Pudding. I don't think it's inherently a broken card or anything. It is mainly, it's Green Purple's main engine, right? And if you would hit this, you would severely damage Green Purple as a deck in general, right? They would lose their entire main engine. They wouldn't really have access to be a good deck, like in general, right? Like it would work if Green Purple's leader effect wasn't Straw Hat locked. You could just exchange this out for a Blocker Kid or something, and you would be in a fine spot. But since it is locked, you kind of need this card for your engine to exist at all. So I don't think they would ban this. I don't think they would even limit this, if I'm being honest. Like, they could, in theory, limit it, but the only thing you would do is make it less consistent for them. Like, it would have to be limited to, like, 3, because they would still need to hit 1 on 5. If they don't hit 1 on 5, then they lose, right? So that's why you run 4, even. Of course, it does become a problem when they hit back-to-back Sanji Puddings, but you can't limit something to, like, 2 or 1, just because you don't want them to see back-to-back Sanji Puddings, because it's an early game play. They still need to see it, which means if you limit it, you're going to prevent them from seeing it early, which means the deck is going to die. I don't think Sanji Pudding is getting hit. It would be weird to hit it's not the card to hit in that deck even. I think if anything, they would be more likely to hit 6 cost Rush Gear 2 Luffy, right? But yeah, Sanji Pudding is safe. And maybe I should have put Gear 2 Luffy on this list, because Gear 2 Luffy is kind of a problem, but I don't think necessarily it's going to get hit anyways. It's probably going to be here in safe. Cavendish. Cavendish is an interesting one. It's just an incredibly good card, right? It's super strong. It allows Sorro to do plays that it's not supposed to be able to do. And it thrives in Bonnie as well. It's going to be really good in OP13 Luffy. It's just an incredibly powerful card. However, I do not necessarily think they will hit this card. Mainly for 2 reasons. One, I think it wouldn't hurt Sorrow as much as some other bands would. And I don't think it would be enough of a hit for Sorrow to lose his spot in the spotlight. Um, and my second reason would be that they basically reprint this 5 times over in OP13. Uh, there's like a gazillion card. Like they reveal like I think 4 cards that's on play, restand to Dawn, like something like that. And so in a sense, I don't think that Cavendish needs to get hit, because why would you hit Cavendish when you're reprinting him anyways, right? And those aren't even locked, like leader locked. At least this is locked to Sorrow and Bonnie, basically. Um, so no, I definitely don't think Cavendish will get hit. It's a very, very strong card. I just don't think it's likely to be hit. Forecast Pudding. Forecast Pudding is such an interesting card in the sense that it damages a lot of decks. Especially as we're moving into OP13, we're looking at a lot of leaders that kind of just stack their hands like Ace. That can become really, really bad because they're sitting at like 10 cards every turn. However, I don't think Pudding necessarily is a problem. I think Pudding is a good counter to meta calls. Like it's a meta call like card, right? And so I don't necessarily think it's inherently broken, and it is easy to play around when you expect it. So I think it's more of a skill ceiling problem if you are having problems with Pudding. So I don't necessarily think this should go anywhere. I think this is safe. I don't know. It's just I have a hard time seeing Pudding get banned, as it's like the only way to prevent hand stacking and like your opponent going to 10, 12 cards in hand. And I like, yes, it sucks that it's only in blue, but it is the blue's color identity to deal with hand size, and so I think it's perfectly fine. It's not a problem at all. Um, like I said, if you're a skilled player, you'll play around Pudding anyways, and won't have too much problem with it. So don't think Pudding will get banned. And then we have Tashigi, OP12 Tashigi. If you don't know what this does, it is on play. It's a 5-cost 7k on play. Rest a card with an original cost of 6 or less. Then attach 3 Rested Dawn to your Rorona Sorrow leader. I don't know if you follow there, but that is an insane card. It basically costs 2 Dawn to rest a 6 cost, right? Which is just super powerful because you're also establishing a 7k body for 2 Dawn, basically. It's incredibly stupid card in Sorrow, of course. But it is the problem with Tashigi is that she has when you go back to back to back Tashigi, you literally win the game. And there's like you have 2 searches for it. It's actually miserable to play against. It's if you think about it, it's basically a guaranteed removal because you're swinging 8 into something, which is like nobody's fucking countering out of that, and you're swinging 8 face. So in a sense, it's almost almost like a 5-cost 7k body, pop a 6-cost or less, and deal 1 damage to your opponent. It's it's an incredibly stupid overpowered card that when you can see it is back to back, you basically win the game on the spot. There's not a lot of decks that can keep up with back to back Tashigi, and that is like this card is wise or really is a problem. I think it's likely that it's limited, but I kind of want to put it in hopeful ban as well because I think it's just such a stupid card. Yes, yeah, I guess it's possible that they're limited, especially because you have cards like Kuina from OP12 that basically does a similar thing, but instead of hitting a 6-cost, it hits a 4-cost, and instead of being a 7k body, it's a 1k body, and you have to rest it because it's an activate main instead of an on play. You know, it's Kuina is basically this, but just much more balanced, right? I don't know. I think I want Tashigi to at least get limited, but it's like hopeful ban. Like really, it's like really in here. I'll put it in limit just so we have an even spread of cards in every every tier. Tashigi is just a problem. I fucking hate that card so much, and it's like the fact that it's original cost. It's so dumb. Like, you just fuck on my whole koala deck. It's so annoying. But yeah, that's the list I've got here. The ban list predictions. As you can tell, clearly I have 2 decks in mind when I went through this. Blue purple's gotta get hit. I mean, this is green purple as well, right? So that's why this deck this is most likely to be banned. Um, the purple Luffy's and then green Sorro, those are the problem decks in the current meta. And if they could be hit in a sense, that would be the most optimal situation, and I think the most healthiest for the game. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe as well if you want to see more content like this. I post almost daily, so be there, be square, turn on notifications so you can be notified when I'm live or when I upload. It's very cool. Other than that, I hope to see you again in the next video. Peace.